Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent of Mr. Kent, well, of MrKent.com, but we won't worry about that. That's was my website, still there, but anyway. So I'm 82 years old, telling my life story as I ride on my e-trike, and if you're interested in looking at all of the videos about my life, if that's a big if, at the end of this video there's a link you can click on. It says life story, and you click on that, and you have a whole list of videos you can watch. Some people go back and do look at it. They tell me in their comments. So anyway, right now I'm up to the, well, it would be 2009, somewhere around 2008, 2009, and my wife and I are in our 60s, and she's about ready to retire from her job. And so my daughter, her husband got a job working at Glacier Park in Montana, and so they moved up there, and so we decided we'd go visit them for the weekend or something like that. Probably for a weekend, just a short. And we never took any long camp out vacations again like I did in the last video. This we were just going to go up and stay with my daughter and visit for a couple days and come home. And so we loaded up the blue Harley. Yeah, I think it was a 2007. Anyway, we loaded up and started early in the morning and started heading towards Glacier Park. Some of the way was freeway, and then some of the way was back roads, and we rode for hours because it was quite a ride, quite a ways, and we finally got to this little town. Let's see, we'll go this way. Finally got to this little town, and it was beginning to get dark, and we really didn't know exactly where we were going because we'd never been there before. So we stopped, and there's a picture. I have a picture here of my wife calling my daughter and asking for directions and let her know we're coming and so forth. And so we got back on. We knew where we were going, and so it got darker and darker, and we got into a wooded area. And if you know anything, if you ride motorcycles, you know that one of the things that kills people is when a deer jumps out in front of a motorcycle in the dark. And so we were a little bit cautious about that. So we'd come around a corner, and our light would reflect off of a mailbox, and it seemed to look like deer's eyes, you know. But anyway, so we got there after dark and had a good visit. We went to we went up the highway to the sun, I think it's called, and it was a really fun drive. You go up to the peak of a mountain or a hill or whatever. It's a mountain, I guess. And so we got a lot of pictures and just had a wonderful time. And then also they had this, where they lived, there was a river that came by just within walking distance, because they lived right on the Glacier Park property. And so we went swimming, and they had this place where the river came along, and then it went around a corner like this, and it had left a mound of gravel, and so there was water here that was not moving, and clear, crystal clear. And so we jumped in, swam around, and I hadn't been swimming for a long time, and so I swam for about a half an hour, I'm guessing, and swam around and never got out, just kept swimming. And finally, after about a half an hour, I decided it's time to get out. So So I go get over to the side, like coming up on the gravel, and I got up to where, and my legs would not hold me. They were so tired from swimming that they wouldn't hold me. And so then I tried to crawl, and my arms wouldn't hold me. And so finally I just sat down on my behind on the edge and rested for maybe, I don't know if it was a half hour, but I had to rest a long time before I had the strength to get up and walk. And that's how out of shape I was. So anyway, we had a good time with them. And then came time to head home. Well, it started getting rainy. And so we had to ride in the rain. Of course, we had all the gear for that. Had goggles and lots of gloves and coats and everything. And so we're riding and we about halfway. I don't remember the name. I want to say McCall, but I don't know if that's the name of the town. Anyway, we're riding and we needed to stop for fuel, and it was pouring down rain. You could see sheets of rain against the hills that we were going by. That's how heavy it was raining while we were riding. So we pulled in and got in underneath it didn't have much of a hang over the gas pumps, but we took a break, felt like we got dried off, wiped down our goggles and got them all nice and clear, and then got ready to go. Now, I've always told my wife, when we're going down the road at normal speed, you can wiggle around all you want back there, but when we're just getting ready to go, don't wiggle. And so I told her, just hang on to me really tight until we get moving. And she learned to do that, and she did that really well. And so there's a park. Let's see if we can go in this park. So we were getting ready. It was pouring down rain, remember now. We were getting ready to pull out of that filling station, and out of the corner of my rain splattered goggles, ooh, just missed that bush. Out of the corner of my goggles, I saw a truck coming. Now I'll have to make this. We're coming out, and we're making a left turn to get onto the road from the gas pumps, real slow, just coming around. And then all of a sudden, I saw this truck coming, and so I put the brakes on. Now, centrifugal force. See if I can make it up this hill now. There we go. Centrifugal force, as we were making a left turn, centrifugal force threw us over to the right, and she was hanging on tight, and so all of a sudden we stopped, and everything was going to the out of the circle that we were turning left, so everything started tipping right. Well, so when we started tipping, then naturally the natural thing I did was to make sure that I put my foot down, everything, but it just kept going. I couldn't contain it, and she was hanging on tight around my arm, and so we landed. We tipped over, and I was trying really hard on the handlebar to keep it from tipping over, and she was pulling on this part of my arm right here, and as it turned out, then it hurt really bad, but we tipped over. And then when I went to I got to figure out where to go here. We'll go this way. There we go. Okay. It hurt really bad, and of course when I went to pick the bike back up, it's a big old heavy Harley, it really hurt. And so we rode on home, and finally before we got home it started drying up and the roads got dry, and so by the time we got home it was no rain, and I went to open the garage door. You had to turn the handle and pull the door up. When I went to turn the handle, man, it hurt. But I got the handle turned. And so, raised the door, put the bike in the garage, and went in the house. And actually my elbow was hurting really bad. And my bicep wasn't where it should be. But I had never had a problem like that. And so, let's see, do we want to go that way? Let's go this way. I'd never had a problem like that, so I thought, well, it'll get well. And so, I think we've been this way. Let's go the other way. I'm sorry. I saw some broken glass there that I saw last time I was riding it this morning. So, you know, I told my wife something wrong with my arms. Oh, she says, it's no problem. And day after day, I told her, it's really hurting. And she says, oh, no problem. Yeah. And finally, oh, it was over a week. And actually, it might have been close to, no, it was just about a week and a half. She saw me without my shirt on. And she saw this big lump up here on my shoulder and a skinny arm down below. Well, what had happened was when I was trying so hard to keep the bike up and she was pulling on my arm, I disconnected the tendon that goes from the bicep down to the forearm. And so we called the doctor and they said, come on in. And when they found out it had been 14 days or something like that, they said, well, I don't know if we can repair that. It's been so long. But they put me, I think they put me under, and they got it all done. And then when I woke up, my arm was in a sling, and they said, you cannot move that arm for 2 weeks. And so I said, okay. So we went home, and we were just really tired. And that night we crawl in bed, and I've got my arm in a sling, and I'm laying there. And my daughter calls to see how the day went because she heard that I had hurt my arm. So I'm laying on the left side of the bed. My wife's laying on the right side of the bed. I don't remember where the phone was. It must have been on the left side. Anyway, so the phone rings, and I raise up, and she raises up, and grabs my arm and pulls it. And I'm not blaming her. I mean, we were both tired and asleep and everything. So she grabs my arm and pulls it, and all of a sudden it hurts again. And then she got on the phone with my daughter, and she's walking around the room. I'm laying there, get off the phone, hurry up, get off the phone. And she's walking around talking to my daughter, and finally, she hangs up, and I said, we got a problem. You grabbed my arm. I think we broke the surgery. And so the next day we got emergency. We got in, and it was already late when we went the first time. But they said, okay, well, we'll give it another try, but you're going to have to be real careful. And so put me under again and did the repair. I don't know how they put something through the lower arm and pull the tendon through or something like that, because they had to connect it on this side so it wouldn't pull through. So anyway, they got the surgery, got it all done, and they told me, they says, do not move your elbow for 2 weeks. So guess what? I slept on the couch for my own safety, and I didn't go anywhere, didn't go to church, didn't go anywhere, just stayed in the house. So because if somebody bumped me and made me jerk, that would tear that thing out again. So I was real super careful, and I had to be that way for 2 weeks. And then I went in for checkup, and they said, okay, now you can put your arm on the table, take it out of the sling, and put your arm on the table, and then with your other hand, hold on to your right hand, and then very carefully move that elbow just a little bit at a time. Do that over and over and over, a little bit every day, and then eventually I was able to lay it on the table and move my arm itself. And so almost a month went by, and I was just stuck at home, which was okay because I wanted to get well. So I had that happen, and this was, well, like I say, might have been 2009, something like that. And then another thing happened to my health. You've probably heard me talk about it. I was sitting in the living room, and my wife was sitting across from me, and she looked at me, and she thought, he looks really strange. I look strange normally, but she notices the difference. So she came over and she said, "Are you doing okay?" And I said, "I guess I'm doing okay, you know." And she said, "You're not doing okay." And we had a paramedic that lived across the street, so she ran over and got him and came over, and he did a few things, like asked me my address, and I had no idea what my address was. And so he said, "You got to take this guy in to the ER and have him check him out." So I get to the hospital, and she's checking me in, and they say, "What's your name?" And I can give them my name, no problem. But then when they want the phone number, the day I was born, all that kind of stuff, I couldn't think of. I don't have an answer, you know. And it was a strange feeling. I just did not have that information in my brain. So they put me in the hospital for a couple of days, and as time went by, I slowly got better and better and better and better, and it came back to normal. But it took about 2 days for all that to go away. So obviously now I was beginning to feel more and more like an old man. And so I haven't driven a car since then, except once in a great while, because I don't want to run over somebody, because I go back into my blank state. So anyway, that's a couple things that happened to me as I got older. And I think in the next, I promised this last time, but I keep coming up with these memories. I think in the next video, I'm going to be, my family, me and my wife, we're going to be moving from where we lived. And so we'll find out how that goes, all right? So in the meantime, I just want to say thank you for watching my video, and God bless.